So yesterday I came across a new, to me, designer for cross-stitch patterns. I came across her through Indie Untangled, which is a group in the knitting world that promotes indie dyers and indie designers. And so this woman is an indie yarn dyer, but she also makes cross-stitch patterns. Really cute, and they all, well, some of them, not all of them, but some of them do have a knitting theme, and some are just kind of garden and floral. They're all really cute, so of course I had to get a couple. And I'm a true believer in PDFs and using as little paper as possible. So of course I did get the PDFs, and in the process of downloading them and getting them into Dropbox, it occurred to me that it might be useful to do a video showing you just the process, if it's not something you're familiar or real comfortable with. And also, as I put them into Dropbox, I realized that the number of patterns I have in Dropbox is getting unwieldy enough that I need to do some organization. So I'm going to step you through the process today of how to organize using Dropbox for your digital PDFs. So I have already, let me go to a different page. So this is one of the PDFs. And you can see here on the page that I have an option to either open in Knit Companion, which is the app that I use for all of my digital patterns, whether it's knitting or cross-stitch. But I'm not going to do that right now. I'm going to first save it to Dropbox. So I hit that little box up in the upper right corner with the arrow pointing up, and it brings down all the options that I have open that are possible on my iPad to take action on this PDF. I'm going to choose Save to Dropbox, which you see in the bottom row, the third one in. And so it brings up a little dialog box. You can see the name of the pattern on the top there, and then the different options that are possible for me for Dropbox. So I could put it in the main Dropbox queue, I guess, folder, or I have various folders. The one that I use most often these days is my cross-stitch folder, so that's the one that's currently checked. You'll see down in the bottom there it says choose a different folder. If I wanted to put it in a different folder, I could click on that. But I'm going to leave it checked on cross-stitch and hit save up in the upper right, and it does its thing and saves it over to Dropbox. Now I'm going to go into Dropbox, and you will see this is in, it says home, so this is all, and it's sorted by recent. So this is all of my most recent downloads that I have saved into Dropbox. You'll see that most of these are cross-stitch, not a lot of knitting ones in here, because with knitting, most of the patterns, pretty much all of the patterns I get are in Ravelry, so I don't usually save my patterns in Dropbox unless it's after I have worked with them in Knit Companion. So I am going to first, you'll see at the bottom of the screen on the left, it says Home, Files, Create, Photos, and Account. I'm going to click on Files, and you'll see it takes me into the cross-stitch one because that's the most recent one. If I wanted to go back and see all of them, I could. This is all of the different folders that I have currently. I'm going to go back into my cross-stitch folder. So the reason I decided I need to organize this is that you can see I have quite a long list here. It needs to be organized. It's quite a mess. It's hard for me to find things. And these are everything from bought patterns series. You can see my, here at the top is my modern folk embroidery designs, all the months for that. I have different free patterns. I have my history of sheep PDFs. I have my Harbor Haven PDFs, and all of them are just, whether it's free or bought PDFs, all of them are just mishmashed here. And these are sorted by name. So, to start, I'm going to just start by creating folders and sorting stuff into folders. So here I am in my cross stitch within one folder called cross stitch. The folders that I'm going to create now are all going to be within the cross stitch folder, so the cross stitch folder will be the parent folder. To do this, down at the bottom you see the little plus sign with create underneath in the bottom left. I'm going to tap on that, and I have several options: scan document, upload photos, create or upload file, or create folder. I want to create folder. And so we get a chance here to name it. I'm going to click on that, and it brings up the dialog for me to name it, and I'm going to name this the Modern Folk Embroidery MSAL for Mystery Sal 2018. And then I hit done up there, and you can see that the cross-stitch folder has a check next to it. That means it's going to be within that folder. So then up at the top I tap on create. It's creating the folder, and there we have that folder created, and it is empty. So now in the upper left where it says cross-stitch with the arrow, I am going to hit that and go back to the main cross-stitch folder. And so the first pattern here in my list is one of my Modern Folk Embroidery. Oh, you know something? It's not. That's the Linens and Threads Mystery Sampler. So let me go down. Okay, I don't actually own all of the Modern Folk Embroidery patterns yet. I haven't gotten them all yet. So, but I'm going to start there. So, 4 Seasons, February. See the 3 little dots, so you can see the title over on the left-hand side, the title of the file, .pdf, and then right to the right of that, there's the 3 little dots. I'm going to tap on that, and I get a variety of options: share, manage access, make available offline, add to start, export, rename, copy, move, blah, blah, blah. So I'm going to tap on move, and then I get an option of where I want to put it. Now, yesterday I created the folder called Quilty Stitches. That is a subordinate folder to Cross Stitch. Cross Stitch is the folder I'm currently on. I could put it in the main Dropbox list. I'm not going to do that. I'm going to choose a different folder, and I am going to find the folder named MFE Cross Stitch, or MFE Mystery Sal. Tap on that, set that location, and then move. So that one has now been moved in there. I'm going to move this one, move, and since that I added that to the list, it actually didn't stay set on that as the location, which is kind of annoying, but that's okay. Tap on that, move, and you can see it disappears from the list. 4 Seasons, January, move, tap on the folder, move, move, change it to that folder, move. So now if we go up, well, we find the folder, which is in here, there it is, MFE Sal. So when I look at that, I can now see all 4 of those designs in there. Let's step through that again. Let's go ahead and put Harbor Haven, create a folder for Harbor Haven. So again, I start down at the bottom. On the bottom left, there's the choices for actions I can take. I'm going to tap on the plus sign for create, and I'm going to create a folder. Folder name, I want to change that. I tap on that, and I'm going to name this Harbor Haven. I'm going to try and spell it correctly. Harbor Haven Sal 2018. Actually, I'm going to start this with By the Bay. Okay, so actually, I'm rethinking how I want to have my folder hierarchy. And this is something you should probably think about before you start. So, I'm actually going to name this folder By the Bay Needle Arts, because that is the name of the designer. And I'm going to go back and rename that folder I just created with the designer name, because then as I get other designs by those same designers, those will go in here within their own folders. So By the Bay Needle Arts, done. Create. So I now have a folder called By the Bay Needle Arts. Let me see. Okay, so what I need to do then, I was looking to see if I can create, I guess I can create another folder under that. Let me go ahead and do that. Create folder. By the Bay Needle Arts is now the parent, and I'm going to create a folder called Harbor Haven Sal 2018. Okay. So the Harbor Haven folder is empty, but if I go back to the By the Bay Needle Arts folder, you'll see I have a new folder in here. I'm going to go back to my main cross-stitch list, scroll down to where I have my Harbor Haven patterns, and I'm going to hit those 3 dots, and I'm going to do Move. And now, when I choose a different folder, I'm going to find Harbor Haven, and it's telling me, you can see the name of the folder, and you can see underneath the name it is within the By the Bay Needle Arts folder. So I'm going to set that as the location, Harbor Haven Sal, Move. And now I will do that with each of these, Harbor Haven, Move, Move, Harbor Haven, Move, Move, Harbor Haven, Move. Okay, so now let's go ahead and look. First we're going to go into the By the Bay Needle Arts. And you can see By the Bay Needle Arts we have the Harbor Haven Sal folder. We go in there, and there's the files that I've moved so far. So that is how you do that. I hope you found this helpful. I am going to continue on. I have a lot. I have Satsuma Street designs I have to organize, and again I will make the main folder Satsuma Street. And actually, let me find that other folder, the first folder I created. So this one, the Modern Folk Embroidery MSAL 2018. So what I want to do is change the name of that, so rename, so it is just for Modern Folk Embroidery Patterns. It helps if I spell it. Okay, rename that. And then within that, I want to create a folder for the Mystery Stitch Along from 2018. So now I'm going to create that. So within the main Modern Folk Embroidery folder, I now have a folder for the 2018 Mystery Stitch Along. So now I can move those from that folder to the Stitch Along. So all of those are now going to go in there. And I might actually change that name to say MFE at the front, so that even though I know what it is now, I could see there coming a time when I have a bunch of different mystery stitch-alongs that I won't know which is which. So let's make that totally clear. So you can see it is really easy to organize within Dropbox. So I will be going through, and the reason I did that is because, see this For Thee pattern? That is a free Modern Folk Embroidery. Oh no, it's not. It's Lila's Studio. I thought that was Modern Folk Embroidery. I think I have a free Modern Folk Embroidery in here somewhere. But anyways, all these are going to get organized. So anyways, if you have any questions, ask in the comments. I'm always happy to help. Have a great day, guys. Bye-bye. Just one more thing I wanted to point out was, so when you have everything organized in Dropbox, when you have additional patterns you want to add there, when you're at this point of initially downloading the pattern, and you hit up here in the top right, you hit that little square with the arrow and bring down your menu of choices, and you hit to save to Dropbox, then in here, instead of just putting it in the main cross-stitch folder, you're going to choose a different folder and look through the ones. I'm going to go to cross-stitch and I'll look through the ones that I've created. And this is another one from October House Fiber Arts. So I'm choosing that one, and I can save it right into there. So now as I continue on, I can keep everything organized, and it'll be much easier to find patterns in the future instead of paging down through all of that long list. Anyways, hope this was useful. Bye-bye.